gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. I'm still waking up. I'm sorry. Oh. All right, so you do that. She does have fairly basic goods. If you're looking for anything specifically that's a little bit more esoteric, I'll do a roll to see if she has it. Is anyone looking for anything in particular before you guys hit the road?
Does she have any alchemy pots?
Alchemy pots. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Okay.
Apology
So,
accepted.
so if you're watching us live, you got the intros. If you're watching the video, sorry, you missed out.
But you may have just watched the last one.
Yeah. Me. I think you can, but I think you've got to wait until it renders, which takes a little while. And I think it'll be a lower video quality, but let's find out. It'll be an interesting experiment. That's our thing we learned today. What happens if you use Twitch as your video capture device?
All right.
All right, alchemy jug. That's not a super rare thing, right?
No, I think. Shh, he doesn't need to know that.
Hmm. Okay.
What are we getting
She
the
does
alchemy
not-
drug for?
Oh, Carissa wants to be able to sell beer at the bar.
Right.
So she does not currently have an alchemy jug, but I had an idea around that. So I know where you'll be able to find something like that now, because we had that discussion. Anyone else looking for anything? No. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Should we split the 189 as individual gold then?
Oh, it was 190. She.
Oh, 190.
Yeah. She.
Yeah,
gave
we
me-
can.
I have 5.
Yeah, but you bought the glaive.
Yes, yes.
All right, everybody add 47 gold, 50 copper, or 50 silver to your personals.
Nice.
Yeah. Because it's 47.5 gold.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I have like 955 ball bearings.
Which you've been attempting to use as currency since the beginning of the game.
It's shiny.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to like 4 episodes from the end of this campaign when ball bearings turn into something that's needed for like super powerful spell.
It's okay. They're cheap. I got like 100 gold. I'll just go buy some more.
Yeah. All right. So it is Torga, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a little confused because Torga tells you that the next town you're going to is called Targos.
And that's where the
Which-
lycanthropy of legend is.
Yeah, the lycanthrope.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
Menor talk?
Yep. So She
I
tells
wrote
you
it
that this is going to
phonetically.
be a longer trip. Um, the other trip that you guys took was fairly quick. You made it in sort of one sprint with her dog sleds. This is going to take a couple. Um, and the other thing uh, that she warns you of is you're also going to be traveling through a section of the wilderness where um, there are some sort of ancient and unexplained uh, ruins. There are sort of, it looks like chunks of some type of building, and those tend to be guarded by something. Um, so you can explore them at your leisure if you want, um, but she recommends caution. All right. So as she's getting ready to leave, anyone have anything to do before you leave town?
Go pee.
All right. You take care of the necessaries at the necessarium, and it's interesting because uh, the it reminds you of the little shack that you saw the town crier standing in. All of the all of those types of buildings in this town are oriented the same way, and there's a wind that blows through this town, and it's always blowing in that same direction, and it's cold. Uh, as you get organized, she sort of splits you up amongst the dog sleds and starts going. The as you get out of town, the constant wind that you've been dealing with the entire time that you've been there sort of starts to die down slowly, and then as you sort of crest up out of a valley, the wind is coming from different directions, and
So it's more natural.
yeah, well, you're not sure that the other wind was unnatural.
Oh,
It
okay.
just maybe being channeled from somewhere.
Because of the valley.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading the. As you guys head off uh, over the hill, the dogs sprint, um, and she pushes the dogs to the point where they're starting to lag a little bit, and then she says, "We're going to need to stop." Um, and the dogs will require about a half an hour's break before we're ready to go again. Generally, there isn't a lot out here, but if you want to explore the surrounding area, feel free. It Try to stay close-ish, and then goes about sort of feeding the dogs and tending to some of them. A couple of them came up a little bit lame from um, ice and such, so they're treating the dogs fairly well, but the dogs definitely need a break. So as the dogs are taking a break, what would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna search for local flora and fauna.
Okay, roll me a nature check.
Absolutely.
Okay. Um, you do a search, and up here outside of the valley, where there's less sort of constant wind, you're finding that the snow is quite thick. You are seeing the occasional, um, what appears to be like sort of the top, maybe inch or so of a shrub, um, but there isn't a lot for you to find without digging fairly far down.
Cool.
I'm going to stay near the dogs because I don't see well without a lantern or torch.
Okay. All right. Anyone else looking for anything in particular?
No, I'm just gonna try and stay warm. You know, it's cold. I'm a
Okay.
bird. Thin blood.
Huddle down. One of the things that Torga does have set up is um, she does set up a small campfire, and some of the dogs that have that have sort of gotten hurt, they're sort of huddled around the campfire, and you guys can join in with that. Um, and the interesting thing that you notice is that one of the wagons in her dog sled train is loaded completely with wood. And if you were estimating consumption, you'd guess that the wood that's been on there um, will probably have been burned within maybe 2 days. It's hard to carry. Yeah. But you're now that you've left Tourmaline, you're not near any kind of a forest. As you scan the horizon, well, you can't scan very far into the horizon because it's dark. But everywhere you've been before, there have been trees, and there are no trees. It's just sort of um, rolling winter hills with whatever light you manage to find, sort of glinting off of things.
I have dark
Um,
vision.
okay, Sil, what are you doing? I think are you still carrying a bundle? Yeah. No, you can sit around Torga's fire for now. Mhm. Okay. All right. Roll me a. You're looking specifically for tracks. Mhm. Okay. So roll me a survival check and a perception check, please. Perception. Mhm. All right. As you do your circuit, and you do a couple circuits further and further out, you don't find a lot of tracks. You find a couple of places where it looks like the snow has been compressed. You're not quite sure why or how, but sort of to the northeast of where the camp is, you spot some of the firelight seems to be reflecting off something in the distance. Okay, so quick loop. There isn't a lot that's out here, but as you come back to the fire, you let the party know you spotted something.
Do you want me to go scout? Scout it out, guys.
I asked Torga if she knows anything. Does she knows the land?
Mhm. She says, "Yeah, if you've spotted something, it's probably what I was telling you about in town. Um, there there's some there was some type of ancient civilization in the area, and when people travel, they occasionally find remnants of that. So it's quite possibly that. Don't wander too far, but feel free. We're still going to be here for a little while as the dogs rest.
Do we want to check it out or do we want to stay close?
That's
It's up to you guys.
odd or even. Sil, odd or even.
Okay. After approximately half an hour, it looks like the dogs have sort of caught their breath. They've cycled a few of the dogs that are hurt, sort of into the backup pack that's not pulling anything, and they get organized. And Torga says, "All right, we're going to continue." Um, as you guys are taking off, I'll take perception checks from everyone. Hmm. Okay. All right.
Jeez, you see everything, man.
It's dark. You're not quite sure how, but you're
Dark
pretty
vision.
sure that in the sky you're seeing motion. And are you calling anyone's attention to that, Heels?
All of everybody.
Okay. Um, as you point that out to Torga, um, Torga sort of has the entire column sort of halt for a little while and watches, and she says, "Oh, this is not good. We need to continue. We're probably going to be hit by a blizzard at some point soon here. So let's try and get as much travel in as we can before the blizzard comes." So
All right.
um, you continue traveling for approximately another uh, hour or so, and she says, we've probably made it about 2/3 of the way to Targos, um, which which we move at a pretty good pace because of the dog sleds. Um, and she sort of stopped and uh, is sort of tending to her dogs as you see um, flakes of snow begin to blow in.
All right, guys. I
And
can cast a Liam's tiny hut. How many can we get all the dogs in?
it's a 10-foot radius. So probably can't get all the dogs in, but you can probably get all the humanoid members of the convoy in.
It's going to be tight.
All right. I think we can do that.
Okay.
And
Um,
the dogs, we can make a lean-to shelter against the side, I guess.
well, the dogs can sort of dig themselves windbreaks. They're
Hunker
used
down.
to surviving
Yeah.
in the cold.
Is it still far enough that this is going to be a problem? Like, I don't know much about snowstorms, but can't you be like stuck here for a while, like weeks till they pass, or a week till they pass over?
Torga tells you that the blizzards in this area uh, tend not to last for weeks. There have been a few really, really bad ones, but in general, they tend to pass fairly quickly.
Okay,
Well,
couple hours.
relatively quickly. In fact, she estimates that this blizzard will last approximately 4 hours.
Hey, that's half the time of the hut,
All
so
right.
we're great.
Yeah.
So as the blizzard is blowing in, you're going to use one of your castings of Limit's Tiny Hut. Okay. Which is
Oh,
good
and it's the
because
ritual, right? So if we have 10 minutes, then it doesn't even cost
she
her
doesn't
10.
know the spell.
No, it's a charm that we have.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. That was from the little elemental creature that followed
I
her around.
remember now.
My little buddy.
Sounds good.
Oh, that's nice. We really need to return that Slurpee machine. Ugh. All right. So you set up the hut. Everyone sort of gathers around. A lot of the drovers are like playing card games. Um, it is quite cramped in here. Everyone is very close together. Um, the blizzard outside of the what do you make the outside of the bubble look like?
An igloo.
An igloo? As you're watching the blowing snow outside, it looks really unpleasant. And oh yeah, there's a thing
Hey,
I
at
can
least
do.
we're gonna be warm in here.
Okay. Over the course of the blizzard, on top of the howling wind, you think that you hear some strange noises, but they're very far away.
Anybody else hear that?
I'm trying to sleep. Shh.
Torga says there's a legend that these blizzards hide the predations of a white dragon, but we're fairly
Oh,
certain that that's a tall tale. I mean, someone would have seen it and said something about it. Now it wouldn't just be myth.
but isn't myth telling people about it?
Uh, all right, so you guys are stuck here for about 4 hours, and you get the feeling with all of the snow and the blowing that if you were out there, um, you would have trouble staying on track, and that you would probably also have to make Constitution saving throws because nobody's winter gear is prepared for gale force blizzard winds. But you spend the time in the hut quite quite warmly and happily. Um, Anyone doing anything over the course of those 4 hours? Okay.
I am asking around for who's speaking what language.
I can speak any
Um,
language.
yeah.
That's it. I'm gonna work with Dripper on his English or on his common.
On its common.
Yeah,
I don't know if Kenku can ever learn because I feel like the lore is that they had the capacity for spoken language taken from them along with flight.
but if I can show him what to repeat, like
Yeah.
go, left,
Yeah.
up, down, that kind of
So
stuff.
you just basically read him a lexicon of words so that he can communicate vocally with you if he wants. Um,
Guys. I have a psi crystal. I
yeah.
have 120-foot telepathy with all of you.
That's right. But what
Yep.
happens if you lose that?
It's a
And it's
crutch,
not like
okay?
Rebecca's Kenku has a what is it called?
Pseudo dragon.
Pseudo dragon who is able to do the psychic connection, but just pictures. So Becca's always sending like emojis to people.
Emojis.
Nice.
Yep.
I want a pseudo dragon.
She likes it.
Yeah. The easiest way to get one is to be a warlock and have the pact of the chain.
I took book, I think.
Yeah. But there are also actual creatures, not just fey constructs. So you may be able to find one at some point. I kind of like them. They're cool D&D creatures. Um, Dripper, are you communicating with people over the course of these 4 hours?
Only my party members, if spoken to or whatever. But otherwise, I keep to myself.
And as described last session by Dripper, whenever he is talking to you, there is this presence in your minds that's just resplendent and glorious that speaks to you.
I definitely have a different view of myself inside my head as opposed to how I look on the outside.
Mhm. Oh, which of the options did you end up picking?
I picked.
Don't say it out loud, but
Send him the number.
Hold on, I gotta see where I put it.
yeah.
I think I put it. This one. Send it to you in Slack.
Slack, Discord.
Oh, yeah, I could do Discord.
Okay. I could find Slack. I haven't opened Slack in a while though. Okay. So your time passes fairly quickly. Torga thanks you for the strange magic. And she gets the dogs saddled up and continues on. After another, I think it's another hour. Slightly less. You're turns out that she had lost track a little bit with the oncoming blizzard. You're at Targos within the next half hour or so. As you pull into Targos, I will pull up the little thingy so I can tell you about it. And I can show you what it looks like. So, unlike the other towns that you've been to, Targos is completely surrounded by a wall. It looks like there's some type of a thought was given to making this place defensible. And it's a wooden wall, and Torga tells you that the wall actually extends out into the lake, which helps create a protected harbor. But she sort of shakes her head a little bit and says, with all of this cold, um, the part of the lake that's enclosed has frozen completely solid, um, making the protected harbor less useful. Um, as you're approaching, you sort of descend down into a valley where the town is, and you can see a little bit of the town, and there's a really obvious sort of marine um, life portion to this. There are ships and such. You see masts, and Torga says this town is very well known for its fishing. A lot of the 10 towns um, are surviving right now off of fishing, but Targos has been uh, fishing has been its central industry for quite some time. Yeah, knucklehead trout is the primary thing that you can find here. Um, and Torga tells you that there are a few points of interest that you should know about. The Luskin Arms is the oldest public house in 10 Towns, established back before Bryn Shander was anything other than just the camp on the hill. Um, Many of the traders who came to Targos back then hailed from Luskin, so the Luskin Arms was built to look like an inn that might be found in the city of Sales. Much of the decor is 200 years ago, reflecting Luskin as it was before its decline. Um, the inn itself is sturdy, but the floorboards are of questionable. Um, oh, I lost my word. They're rotten. Um, and there are a lot of drafts that come up from the cellar. And there's also a rumor that it's infested with rats. And the Luskin Arms is run by a man named Owen Tarsonell. And the um, the Luskin Arms is the home of the speaker of the town, Nerith Maxilindar, and he lives there in the Luskin Arms. There's a tavern named Three Flags Sailing Um, similar to a lot of the other taverns, a lot of people go there at the end of their day. And it is run by a human lady named Ethan Yarbrew, but she prefers that people call her Ma. And the last place of interest is a store called called Triglio. Takes its name from a fishing shanty that the people of Targos sing. This store is owned by Justin Hunray, and he sells basically everything other than fishing supplies. The fishing and sailing supplies are supplied by sort of the merchant marine of the town, but you can buy basically everything else um, from the adventuring gear section of the player's handbook there. Uh-oh. What's it? Yeah. Yeah. Just look at the map. I don't know how to unshow things. Yeah. Uh, okay. All right. That was not supposed to. Oh, you know what I can do? Haha. All right. Now you guys can't see it anymore. Okay, I will figure that out because I thought I was just showing you the map because that's how it's worked with the other two. So yeah. So don't remember what you read. That'll come out later.
Can you put the map because I don't have it under 10 towns anymore. I only see Lonelywood and Tourmaline.
Oh, yes. I can put it on the map for you.
Gracias.
How's that? It's at the it's
I gotta refresh my screen.
southeast of Tourmaline quite a bit.
Yes.
All right.
About 4 hours.
Yeah. Although faster if you've got a dog sled.
Less faster if you run into a snowstorm.
Yeah. Snowstorms suck for travel time. All right, as you guys are approaching, as you descend towards the town, any thoughts?
To the pub? Which one?
Okay. As you as she pulls into town, Targos heads over towards the port and sort of sets up close to the Luskan Arms. And you guys have been told that Three Flags Sailing is the local pub. And as you trudge that direction to sort of get the lay of the land and a drink, um, as the snow is crunching under your feet, you hear the barking of a dog over the whistle of the wind. And as you turn to look, a wolf-sized dog with light gray fur runs towards you, and you notice that on it is it's got like a harness, like it was part of a dog sled team, but the leads are dragging behind, broken.
Wonder what scared the dog.
Can
I'm
I
gonna
try and
and jump on it.
stop it?
Sure. Roll me an animal handling check. How are you going to stop it? Well, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and reach for the strings hanging from it.
Okay. As you reach for the strings hanging from the dog, you get the feeling the dog is still fairly high strung. It turns and it snaps and closes its jaws on your outstretched hand. Um, there's no pain. It's just holding your arm, but it starts pulling you, um, and it looks like it's pulling you towards the center of town.
I will try and follow it, I guess.
This is a fairly big dog, and yes, a literal plot hook.
I want to try and ride the dog. Maybe it'll
Okay.
let me free. It'll free Tia's hand.
All right. Roll an animal handling as you try to climb onto the back of this dog. Hmm. All right, you climb onto the back of this dog, and it sort of yelps a little bit in surprise, turns and looks at you, and then um, lifts your feet up off the ground and tears off into the middle of town, leaving the rest of the party to chase after you.
All right. I follow it into town.
Well, you're riding this thing, holding on as it tears along. The party follows. I imagine. Is anybody not interested in following? Okay. Yeah.
I'll go. I'm going.
Okay.
Yep.
So you follow, and the dog tears up to a small home and stops right in front of the door, and then just lays down.
I pet the dog and say, "Good dog."
The dog wags its tail, um, and sort of nuzzles up against the door.
I open the door.
Okay. Uh, as the rest of the party catches up slowly, they see you opening the door to this building, and inside you see uh, there's a guy, and he is sort of sitting in the kitchen area. It looks like he's having some kind of a meal, and he stands up and he says, "Greetings. Um, I guess come in."
Greetings. Your dog rode me here.
My dog. Hang on, and walks over to the door, looks outside, and he goes, "Oh, good boy, come in, come in." And the dog sort of bounds inside and tears around the dwelling, and then sits its head once it's calmed down a little bit, sits its head in his lap, and he says, "Thank you for bringing this dog home. Um, did you see the rest of the dogs or my husband?"
Uh, it was just this one bolting through, and my sister tried to calm it down, and it grabbed her. So I climbed atop to try and ride it, and it yelped when letting my sister's hand out, and then it bolted here, and I held on for dear life. And the rest of my party is coming around the corner. So
Oh,
I yeah,
so you
they
guys
may
would
have
catch
seen
the
more than I.
yeah. So you guys would catch the end of that conversation as you piled in. Um, Keegan says, "Well, this is the first I've heard from Garrett in some time. Uh, he went on an expedition. He's sort of an outdoorsy kind of dude, um, and he was hired by some adventurers to lead them up into Kelvin's cairn. Um, they bought some climbing gear, and he was going to lead them up the mountain. He took 6 dogs in a sled with him. Boy here was Garrett's favorite. Raised him from a pup. Um, Boy wouldn't leave Garrett's side unless something terrible had happened."
So I'm guessing you're looking for us to go and see if we can find your husband and the rest of the dogs, and who cares about the party, right?
Yeah, the people who led my husband into danger, um, I don't wish them ill. Uh, but if I could persuade you to go up there and find Garrett, uh, I don't have a lot of money, but I do know the proprietor of the Luskin Arms. Um, I could arrange for free rooms at the inn.
Done.
Um, Also, I'm a scrimshander myself. Uh, I could give you a couple pieces of my artwork. It isn't
We have
worth
an
that
inn
much.
and love that idea. Anybody else have anything to say?
He sort of goes over to part of the house that's obviously set up as a warehouse, and you see sort of traditional sort of knife handles and some drinking horns. Um, and he sort of digs around, and he comes out with a small flask. Um, the the flask itself is metal, but wrapped around the outside of it is this spiral of, you're not sure what kind of creature would have carved this from, but there's a spiral of bone around the outside of the flask. And he says this was an experiment that turned out better than I was expecting, but I haven't had much interest in it. Um, Here, yep, yeah, and this would work. You could you could hold. Uh, he's giving that to you as your retainer to find his husband.
We get this. Okay. And we get rooms. And I think we're. How far away is this place? What direction are we heading? And do we have to go immediately?
Good question. He would obviously prefer that you head there as soon as possible. Uh, Straight to the mountain. So he wants you to head to Kelvin's Cairn and or Kelvin's Cairn, and Kelvin's Cairn is here. So
Oof,
it's a
that's
pretty
far.
reasonable backtrack. Um,
I don't see the map.
you don't see the map at
There
all?
we go. No,
Okay.
that's Lonelywood. Sorry, I got Lonelywood and Tourmaline. I'm missing it again. Wow, that is far. Okay, I see Calvin's Cairn.
And he says there's two ways to get there. You could follow sort of the main paths, and you'll get there in um, just over 14 hours of travel time. Or you can beat cross country if you are um, fairly confident. Um, the the cairn itself is a fairly tall mountain in the area. Um, so long as you don't hit too many blizzards, you'll probably make it in less time.
I like a dripper. Or sorry, I look at dripper.
I was like, what? Took me a second to decipher that in my head.
There is an invocation she can take where she can cast disguise self at will. So I look like Dripper might not be a nonsensical statement.
No, I look at dripper.
Where's everybody else?
Okay, did I miss part of the conversation there? What are you looking at me for? Sorry.
See what
Like,
your thoughts are.
There's two ways to get to the location.
right?
You can follow the main paths,
Yes.
and that will take some time. It'll take you through two or three other communities. um, or you can try to beat it cross country.
Oh, I totally say go on the paths, to be honest. Right? Safer?
Yeah, we're going back
Safer?
to
Worry about
Tremley.
I'd much rather, like have the ability to go through some of the other communities and, uh, like what if we're close to one and a big snowstorm hits or something like that,
Mhm,
right? Like, yeah, we have the Leoman's tiny hut, but, you
We
know,
only have 2 more huts.
mhm. And you've been on the road for about 6 hours, so you've got 2 or 3 more hours before you're going to need to rest. Or you could take an early rest and start traveling the next day.
it's all night anyways, though.
Yeah, this is just I'm still tracking things relatively in days because you guys need a certain amount of rest to to function.
Okay. What if
And
we
there
have
is
a long
still
rest
if
right
you're
now and
sorry?
then we take off? What if we go sleep at the inn, have an overnight, or well, have an 8-hour rest, and then take off?
Okay. And dawn each day is marked by fairly intense aurora borealis that sort of flash across the sky. Um, the locals tell you that they believe that that's Oral um, doing some type of magic that that is stopping the sun from rising. Yep.
I think the backcountry could be fun, but I don't know if we are that competent. So sticking to the main paths might be our better bet. We head back to Tourmaline and then go north from there.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's the cross country way. The pathway would take you. He explains to you if you were to take the paths to get closest to Kelvin's Cairn along sort of civilized routes, you would go through Bryn Shander and up to Cair Dinavel and then to Cair Koenig.
we don't see those names on our map. Can you point them out?
I'll just sort of give you a general idea. Bryn Shander is here. Actually, Bryn Shander would be most people would know how to get there, so I will throw that up on the map for you. And then Cair Dinavel is here, and Cair Koenig is here. There are trails to follow, and so long as the blizzards haven't hid them. Oh, all right. So Bryn Shander's here, right? Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong layer. Thank you. All right, Bryn Shander is here. So you'd go this way to Cair Dinavel, which is on another lake over here, and Cair Koenig. And then you travel this way to Kelvin's Cairn, or
I
you
think it looks
can
better
come
going
back
to
to
Tourmaline
Tourmaline and then travel this way to Kelvin's Cairn.
because we already know the route from Targos to Tourmaline.
You've traveled it, yeah.
So even if the blizzards have covered portions of it, I don't think it would take too much for us to get back on track. Which, and I look at our newfound friend and I say, what route would your husband take?
Uh, he's fairly outdoorsy, and the party wanted to shave off time, so they would have traveled through the wilderness. But I don't imagine that they ran into any trouble on the way there. The mountain itself is the threat.
What's so threatening about the mountain?
It is very tall, very cold, um, and uh, people who have explored it have reported large. Um, the stories aren't super clear. They call them large snow monsters. Um, take what you will from that. My husband didn't seem very afraid to go there, but there's something. A lot of expeditions that go do not return.
What do you think, Tia?
Both have their benefits and negatives. If we're worried about time, I think we should come back the way we went to Tremoline and cut across that way. If we're not worried about time, then I think we should keep going because we do want to get to these other towns eventually too. So that's where I'm at. Is this time based?
For this, he's asked you to head to Kelvin's Cairn.
But
Your
we were going to go to Bryn Shander before.
Yeah, your ultimate destination was Bryn Shander. That's what you guys have chosen because you wanted to see sort of the height of civilization in Icewind Dale, and this you have a much better chance of finding um, any type of magical services in Bryn Shander than in most of the rest.
Can we just ask Torga to buy us something in Bryn Shander that we need?
I think it's more
How much
fun
is the
with
time difference
ourselves.
between them?
This way is about 12 hours through the wilderness, and then the other way is the paths are a little bit better beaten. It's 14 and a half hours the other way.
With a possible stop in 3 towns.
Yeah. Well, I all 3 towns have ring roads, so you can go around the outside of them. Ring snowshoe paths.
And we'd be traveling by foot and not dog sled, right?
Yeah.
Or is this
Yeah, because Torga spends some time in each town as she passes through and does some trading.
so it'd be 4 or 5 days to if we were going with Torga.
And interestingly, approximately half of her guards um, vanish. They head off into the various towns, and they tend to gather back up as you guys are leaving. So you're getting the feeling that they're off doing other things.
Let's go Bryn Shander and around.
I agree.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
With Torga or on our own?
On our own.
Okay.
I think we don't have the time to wait.
Because she's going to want to wait for a couple of days. So
Yeah.
the travel would be faster. Like it would by dog sled, it cuts travel time down significantly. But if you guys had your own dog sled, it'd be 50%. But you're traveling with a merchant caravan, so it's not quite 50%.
But then we have to spend days in each town.
Yeah. So Keegan does tell you by foot, Bryn Shander is approximately 3 hours from here. And the path to Bryn Shander is fairly well marked. There are signs throughout town that will indicate where to go. You might be able to make it to Bryn Shander today if you were to leave now.
Question: where can we buy a dog sled team?
Do you know how to drive a dog sled team?
Do you want to travel 50% faster or not?
Something tells me there's going to be a learning curve here. I'll be right back in a quick second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a learning curve, but then once it's learned, it will make things a little easier.
All right. So it would require proficiency with land vehicles. I don't know if anyone has that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a guy too, but I know a girl, but she's not here.
Yeah. And Keegan says there is you can actually pick that up at what's it called?
The Trigolo?
At the Triglio. Yeah.
Triglio. Yes, that's it. Triglio.
Yeah. They would be able to sell you a dog and or a sled, and the sled would come with rental of animals that you could swap out.
And could we
Um,
look get training there as well?
yeah, they would they might be able to provide some basic training in how to maneuver the sled.
So maybe at another time, that might be something to look into.
Yeah. All right.
Or you could do it this time.
Well, we don't know if we can afford to take care of dogs.
Let's go to Triglio and we'll find out.
Okay.
All right. So you head over to Triglio's. Let me just make sure here. I forget what it costs to feed them.
Before we leave, though, what is Keegan's husband's name?
Keegan's husband's name is Garrett. Yeah. All right.
What's the first thing you say when he walks in the door?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, they are looking for the lycanthrope.
Canback, sorry.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Okay. All right. Garrett. He says that Garrett is a um, sort of rugged-looking guy, and his his pride is his beard. He has brown hair, um, and he's an excellent dog trainer. So likelihood is that his dogs will be around him.
Oh, we might be able to get dogs from him.
Um, and uh, as you guys have has been speaking, uh, the dog that led you here has been sort of looking at everybody as they talk, almost like he's following the conversation. And yeah, that's it for now.
All right. Let's go to Justin.
Okay, so uh, as you head out to the Triglio, Boy follows you. So you have a dog that is coming with you.
Hi,
Boy is
boy.
the name of the dog. Okay. I know there's rules about dog sleds. Yeah. Um, yeah. Give me 2 seconds. So frustrating. Okay. Okay. Well, the sled costs 20.
How many people does a sled carry?
It has room at the back for 1 driver, and it can carry 300 pounds. So I don't know if that can carry the entire party. Wait, no. Costs 20 gold. Weighs the thing weighs 300 pounds. There's room for the driver. A sled dog costs 50 gold, and can pull 360 pounds. So you'd need at least 2 dogs, right? 2 dogs would be 720. Minus 300, that'd be 420. Is 420 enough for the party?
Because that means we'd each be less than 100 pounds.
420 was like almost an hour ago.
Yeah.
I have
As
the
I
munchies now.
as I did the math, I was like, no. Oh, dang it.
Oops.
So it looks like you guys would need 3 dogs for the sled to carry you.
Or
Yeah.
2 sleds and 4 dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to walk it for now.
And I remember reading rules about how you feed the dogs. So I'm gonna have to find that after we're done today.
All right.
But yeah, you currently have 1 sled dog with you.
Is there like a smaller sled that we could just have it pulled with supplies on?
I don't know if we even need a sled. I think we need to drop the whole sled thing because we're
Okay.
not having anything pull it. Why add
I
us?
Sounds good.
Yeah, adding weight
I
to
would
us just
yeah. I would say if you guys want, if you wanna hook something up to Boy for him to carry supplies for you, you could probably hook something fairly sturdy up to him that will carry, let's say, 120 pounds worth of supplies.
The other side of that though is when we get to where we're going, we may need to be able to hook him up to drag people back.
Yeah. But if you guys want some type of cargo carrying solution, I'd say that'd be about 10 gold.
okay.
So as you're at the Triglio, he explains how this works. He also explains that if you're going to be taking a wagon out, there's a 2 or 3 hour training course to familiarize you with commands and sort of how the brake works on the sleigh and stuff like that.
Next time.
And and
Next
the
time.
the owner says the training course is free with rental of a a dog sled team.
Interesting. Good to know.
And if you're renting, it's sort of like U-Haul, like you drop them off when you're done, and the dogs then would be half the price. But they don't rent the sleighs. The sleighs are sold.
Perfect.
All right. So while you're at Triglio's, is there anything else you'd like to look for?
I'm gonna ask if he wants to buy the 50 gold gem that we were given.
Uh, And he looks at it and he says, "Ah, you've been at Tourmaline.
Indeed.
These gems they don't sell them on very often. Absolutely, I'll give you 50 gold for this gem."
Perfect. Thank you. Can
All right.
we, do you have any warmer um, gear? We are headed to Kelvin's cairn to rescue someone. Just
Mhm.
wondering if you have anything that's warmer than what we have with this winter stuff.
Oh, well, you guys seem to have fairly good winter gear. I don't have a lot of things that would help with that, but and he sort of leads you off to the side, and he shows you sort of displayed on the wall um, three tiny kegs with big black X's marked on the sides, and he says, "These are sort of for emergency. They're incredibly high proof alcohol. Um, they're not they're not a good long term solution, but they're a good sort of um, warm someone up as much as possible." Uh, yeah, yeah. Um, now I heard that Swiss mountain dogs carry emergency booze on them, but I read that in like an Archie comic like 30 years ago, so I don't know how true it is. But yes, you can buy the emergency booze flasks. And mechanically they'll give you advantage on saving throws against cold.
We'll take, how many are there? There's three?
There's 3 of them. Yeah.
We'll take them. How much are they each?
10 gold each.
Excellent.
One
All right.
use each.
There's 3 uses each, and they'll give you advantage on 1 Constitution saving throw per use. And there's a Constitution saving throw. You at that point you can drink. You don't need to be half cut, constantly wandering through the wilderness.
But
Although
that
that
could
could
be
be
fun.
entertaining too. Yeah. Um, I think it's more of a venom type poison that you're immune to. I think you would suffer reduced effects from alcohol. Um, but at a certain point when you're consciously imbibing poison, eventually that I think you'll feel it. I don't think you get poisoned, but you might get. Oh, that is technically a poison state, though, isn't it? That's a good question. Yeah, yeah. That that might explain why Syl is a paladin. I mean, it's not like I could drink anyway.
I have a question for you about your townsfolk.
Yes.
What do you know of Keegan and Garrett?
Oh well, I don't know a lot about Keegan. He's a scrimshander. He made some of those, and he points over to handles on a couple of sort of adventuring tools, sort of in the higher end section. Garrett is fairly well known as a wilderness guide. He's actually I referred some people to him uh, about a week back.
Well, we just found the only reason that we are here is because Boy came flying through town, tried to bite my sister's arm off, so I mounted him and he rode me back over to Keegan's. Apparently Garrett's gone missing. So with that group,
Oh, oh,
What can you tell us about that group? Are they sinister or not? And I'm going to roll an insight check on him.
Sure. He says, other than that they shopped here, I can't tell you a lot about them. Um, they seemed fairly sincere in their desire um, for adventure and uh, seeking out um, interesting things.
Do you know what their interesting Kelvin's Cairn is?
Kelvin's Cairn is where Oyo Yormathak, the polar bear shifter, is supposed to live. Sorry, the name is
Lycanthropy.
yeah, yeah. Um, the legends around Oreothermathak is that he's friendly and helpful. Um, of the lycanthropes, the bears have the most, um, let's say, the best PR. The in general, bear lycanthropes don't go around mauling and eating people. They tend to be more sort of protectors of nature, friends to fur blogs.
Bring them the
That's good to
fish
know.
and they like it. Got it.
Yeah.
Because if we're gonna go and rescue this guy, I don't want to. I don't want to fall. I don't want to be putting ourselves in danger for a trap or anything.
Hmm. Yeah, I would be surprised if, right, like if I were a bandit and I wanted to trap somebody, I would do it on the paths between towns. Uh, and there's no real reason to, right? Like Garrett is a fairly well-known um, wilderness guide, but there hasn't been a lot of interest in exploring the wilderness in the past few years as it's gotten more and more hostile as this never-ending night has dragged on. Um, so robbing him doesn't make a lot of sense.
All right.
But that
I
is
rolled a
worrisome.
9 on my insight.
Yeah. So I just didn't. Right. You're pretty sure what he's giving you is straight straight value.
Do you have any alchemy jugs?
No.
If any
But
come in, can you put them aside for me?
absolutely. He is able to tell you that um, that type of magical item that produces potable uh, potable alcohol or nutrition is incredibly sought after right now in the 10 towns because um, no one's growing crops and right. But it is rumored that the dwarven clan in the area has the ability to make those types of things.
So make friends with the dwarves.
Might be a plan. All right. Um, we're approaching 5:30. Do we have a 6 o'clock close today?
It's 6:30 for me, somewhere in there.
Okay.
We're doing fried chicken.
Oh,
So
I had
yeah,
I had Popeyes for lunch.
we do homemade. So like we batter it all ourselves, and we double batter them, and then we have that's Korean sweet chili sauce there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have that, but we're actually gonna be taking chicken breast instead of full chicken this time, and we're gonna be making like chicken nuggets.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
That sounds tasty. All right. Well, let's take a brief 2 or 3 minute break to let Spencer finish his call, and then we'll keep going for about
He's
another hour.
back. He's just chewing his chips.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're thinking, yeah. Okay. 2 seconds, guys.
Trish, your hair looks really good from this side.
All right. Trish is fading a little bit too. We've had an insanely busy week, and surprisingly busy weekend. So I think we'll keep going for half an hour and then call it.
Sure.
6 seems like a good place so far for us to end.
Let's like travel there or whatever, and we'll save the rest of it for next week.
All right.
Well, at least we can get to Bryn Shander.
Yeah. So quick travel to Bryn Shander.
Are we taking the portal?
No, you're gonna need to walk. It's gonna take 3 hours. There we go. This one should be set up properly. Tell me if you can see the GM notes on this.
Hang on.
Maybe I'm not looking at them, but I think so. There's a lot of writing there.
Yeah.
No. Underneath the overland travel section, do you guys see
that's
anything?
it. We can't see anything past that.
Good. So this one's set up properly.
Okay.
All right. So 3 hours of wandering in the wilderness. The pathway is fairly clear, although it was recently buried in a little bit of snow. Give me a survival check. You choose somebody who's leading, and that person can have advantage.
Not me. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it with advantage.
No worries. I wasn't super clear in
I'm
my
okay with
communication.
Dripper being in the lead because he's a good
Okay.
scout.
Dripper does a great job of leading you guys to Bryn Shander.
Excellent.
With an 18, finding the path is not that difficult. Okay. All right. So you find Bryn Shander. Bryn Shander has a few more. Oopsie daisy. A few more points of interest.
Looks more like Granist.
It does kind of look like Grenist. Bryn Shander has black iron blades, which is one of the primary smithies in the area. They're there's a shield dwarf, and he manufactures fairly inexpensive blades. There's the House of the Morning Lord, which is a shrine to Ammonator, who is a god of the sun. And there's the Northlook, an inn and tavern. And then what else was on the list there? There was some more stuff. Oh, I gotta just scroll back up. Gates Stables, and a council hall. There is a lot more. This is a very large town. As you guys walk up to it, you see that there's a stone palisade around it. It's stone in some sections, wood in other sections. It looks like the addition of the stone is a recent project, and they're just sort of cladding the outside of the wooden wall in stone. As you guys approach Bryn Shander, you guys wanted to specifically look for magical services, right? So how long are you spending in Bryn Shander before you continue on your way?
I think we're spending the night here, though, aren't we?
Yeah,
'Cause
we'll spend the
we've
night
traveled
here.
and traveled.
Okay. So the inn. There are a few inns in town, but the most reputable one is the Northlook. And give me percentage rolls
For
as each of you do a quick sort of scout through town. Okay.
Trish, you rolled a 1
yeah,
out of 100.
yeah.
My benchmark for you guys finding anyone who could do magical services was 20 and below.
Oh,
So good work. That That was 1 in 100.
Because everyone else got above 50, 50 and above.
Technically, everybody else also rolled a 1 in 100, but 1 in 100 number. All right.
Good job, Trish.
I trip and bump my shoulder into building and look up and it's got a magic sign on it.
Yep. There is there's a building sort of off in a back corner, and it's a sort of nondescript building, but above the door is a sign with a curled up. Each end is sort of curled so that it makes sort of a like this. No, that's terrible. Why? Come on. Nah. Okay, it curls like this and then back the other way, but there are tassels on either end. It's almost like a purple snake with tassels hanging off of either end. Sort of like an infinity sign, except that it's not curled back on itself. Actually, doy. All right, where approximately are you guys looking on the map? No, on the main map in Roll20.
Where exactly are we looking? Oh, on the Brunschlander map.
Yeah.
Where
All
are
right,
we
so
looking?
this is what the symbol looks like.
Yeah. Put the
But
tassels
there
on it.
but there are tassels hanging off either end.
Perfect.
So I'm assuming you gather up the party. Are you going to gather them up and take them into this strange building?
Yep.
Okay. You step into the building. It's a fairly small building. Mostly there's room for you to stand. There's a wooden counter, and behind the wooden counter is sort of a translucent figure that is standing there. Um, and the translucent figure is that of a very tall, muscle bound, wearing purple robes, balding, completely bald black man, and he says, "Welcome."
Well met.
Sure. Uh, it's Jacob, right? Is that the? It was it Jacob or Isaac
Joseph.
who runs the
We're
Joseph?
thinking
Yes,
Joseph.
thank you. He says, "Hello, I'm Joseph. How can I help you?" You may have reached a branch of the magic carpet. Yes.
I
He's Mike
am
Gilmore.
I am the son of Trim.
Oh, small world.
This is the
Or
daughter of Trim.
small multiverse. I What are you doing here?
Good question. We just ended up getting sucked here through a vortex and
Can you tell us where here is?
Well, it depends. Um, Currently, no, I can't. Um, this place is in flux.
Okay, I'm interested.
Yeah. Um,
one
I
moment
haven't had a
later.
lot of customers. They just recently opened this branch, um, and my ability to learn much about this place is limited. I can't really leave here. But
Welcome to the club.
powerful magic surrounded this place. I thought there might be interesting things to find. As you can see, I'm not entirely here myself.
We seek an alchemy jug or two.
Hmm. I'll see what I can do. And he looks down under the counter, um, and reaches up and pulls out an alchemy jug and sets it on the table because Trish rolled a 1. And I believe uncommons are in the 500 to 2,000 range, right? I don't have my thing. 1 to 5? Okay. So he says, yeah, for a relative of Trim's, 400 gold and it's yours.
Do we have that much money?
I don't think we do. I have
Is there anything we could do to earn it?
Yes, absolutely.
excellent.
I
He-
thought this was going to go a totally different direction. My bad.
not that kind of guy.
Okay.
You know this guy. Come on.
It's Joseph.
Yeah, he reaches under the table and he pulls out 4 large crystals, and he says, "I would like these placed at the I'd like 3 of these thrown into the bodies of water in the area, and this last one, I would like it if you could place it at some type of nexus of magical and spiritual power. So if you can think of a place that's like that, if you can put this at that place, that would be helpful."
Done.
So you like the 2 lakes nearby in the ocean and another place?
No, there are. I've been able to discover some basic geographical facts. There are 3 lakes in the area. There's Mare Dweldon, there's Redwaters,
So like here?
and Lake Dinneshay.
Oh, I got them backwards. Okay.
So if you could throw these into those 3 um, lakes, and then place this last one at a place, a nexus of spiritual and
I, I
and
am
magical power.
I am kind of hungry. I wouldn't mind going to lake dinners here.
Lake Dinners here.
I love that.
um, but yeah, does that sound like a thing you guys would be interested in doing?
Yes. We're
All
going
right,
by all 3 of those. We have an
excellent.
inn in Lonelywood. Should you ever find yourself in Lonelywood, pop in the inn and tell them that we've sent you. You always have a room.
Hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say always. If all our rooms are full, then that's a little difficult. But you know,
Well, in my current form, I don't need rooms, but he reaches under the counter and he pulls out a different. This is a much smaller sort of red gem, and he hands it over to Tia. He says, "Place this in your inn next time you're there."
thank you.
So for inventory tracking purposes, small red gem from Joseph. And then just put in brackets after it, just expansion. Okay. No, I'll remember. I'll remember what it does. He says, "Excellent. Well, um, I'll I'll know if you don't do the job that I've asked you to do." Um,
We have to come back here to get the jug after.
oh no, here.
Oh, thank you.
I'll put it in the
Who
bag
wants to carry
holder.
it? Yeah.
Actually, Joseph,
Hmm.
do you know?
6 months, I
Oh
guess it
no,
has.
never mind. I was gonna say, could you have it shipped to our inn in Lonelywood? But we're gonna be going fairly close to there. I
Hmm.
think we can sort something out.
Um, not currently.
I'm thinking that when we're done with the Kelvin's Cairn, we could end up back in Tourmaline, and then have a courier run it to Lonelywood. Or we can
Well,
pop into
or
the inn.
when we get back to Lonelywood, can throw the gem in the water then.
Exactly. Because we're going by Redwaters and we're going by lake dinners here.
Yep. He does say if you're exploring in this dark and frozen wasteland, I do have an item that might be of interest to you.
Oh, really?
Yes. Can't find the
Just the
rarity
same.
on it though. Oh yes, I can. Give me 2 seconds. That was Tourmaline. He pulls out a small ring and he sets it on the counter. And he says, "This is 300 gold." And you notice that the inside of the ring is furred, and on the top of the ring, it's a simple looking wooden ring, are 2 sort of Arctic foxes, sort of curled up with each other, almost like yin yang.
Nice.
But they're both white foxes. And he says, "This this ring will give you resistance to cold damage,
Ooh.
Sounds
and
nice.
will help you survive in cold weather."
That's 300?
There is one
300.
slight downside. It does require attunement. Yep, 300 gold for that.
And you only have one of those.
As of right now, yes. But given what you're facing, might be a good thing to have. Have you found anything on your travels that I might be interested in?
Not that I know of.
Antifreeze? Oh, we
He-
still have that really pretty bow that we haven't sold yet. The unstrung longbow.
And if you show that to him, he says, "Yes, this is a very fine elven made bow, but it does not seem to have any magical properties."
No, it's not.
I think you guys have found one magic item since you started playing.
Dripper's side crystal.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got our coins as well.
Are you?
No, I'm just saying that there is other items. I'm not trying to sell it.
No, he said magic items.
Aren't the coins we have magic?
Yep.
Like the Christmas coins?
Yes, they are.
I'll show him my Christmas coin.
Which one is it?
I'm looking for it. I am looking for it.
What are we looking for?
My Christmas coin. I don't have it written down. Maybe I didn't get one.
Maybe. There was only 3 of them for the 5 of us.
That's fine. Ignore me. I don't have any Christmas coins.
Okay. Does anyone else have a Christmas coin they wanted to show him?
We don't know what they do, right? So could we get him to identify them for us? Or does that matter? Because you told us what they did.
Yeah. So yes, he'll identify them for you. Um, and commune. Just trying to find the equivalent level spell. Yeah. Probably the equivalent of a 5th-ish level. Okay. So he's quite interested in the coins. Um, you guys have, I think Catherine has one of them, and Tia has one, and is the other one with Syl or with Dripper?
Yeah, I don't have one either. I don't think, anyways. I'm looking through my stuff. I have a small red gem. It's worth 10 gold. That's about it.
I know I gave you guys coins. I just don't remember who got which.
I have a glass bottle of unidentified slime.
And I think that was just you. You fought a creature and you juiced one of its eyeballs or something.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So he's willing to trade the whatever coin that Tia and Catherine don't have for the Ring of Warmth and a necklace of fireballs with 3 beads on it.
Give up your coins, ladies.
What do
No,
the
no.
coins do, though?
The missing one, the one that the ladies don't have, he'll trade that for the Ring of Warmth and the coins. One can get you 3 answers about the past, one can get you 3 answers about the present, and one can get you 3 answers about the future. Let me just check Roll20 and see who has what here. Actually, Spencer, can you check D&D Beyond and see if people have their coins in their list? Because you have access to the characters, right?
I have an ornate scarf.
Okay. That is so weird. Yeah, so Tia has the past. Mhm. So the present one is a wooden token, a large wooden token, and then the future one is I think is a fairly ornate silver coin. Okay, let me just check with Catherine real quick to see if she knows which one she has. Because I'm fairly certain that she had that. I did, and there isn't anything on it.
Be right back. Half a second.
Yep.
I'm not finding it anywhere.
I'm not finding it either. Yes. All right. So Trish has the past one. So yeah, give me a check your pockets.
I'll do an investigation check. Maybe I shake everything out.
Just give me percentage die rolls, the three of you. Is yes. Okay. All right. Heels. In your pocket, you find a large wooden token with a cornucopia carved onto it.
I hand that over to
Um,
Joseph and say, "Can you
It's about the
identify
size of
this?"
your hand. And Dripper, you find a shiny silver coin with a silver wreath on it. And he tells you
Okay.
that the. Go ahead.
I actually stepped away to get my other glasses, so I missed what was happening. What happened?
Oh, we were trying to figure out who had the tokens from the Christmas adventure. The coins,
Oh, okay.
and we couldn't remember who had. I know Trish has the one for the past.
I had the,
So Carissa has the present, the wooden token, and you have the future. It's a coin with a wreath on it, and it you can use it to summon a spirit that will answer 3 questions about the future. Those are yes and no questions.
Okay.
but you have to ask in rhyme.
Nope. Although there's a potential that you may meet a bob-like creature in this adventure.
All right, so I give my token over to Joseph.
Okay. There we go. All the little markers for the towns are present. Yeah. So for the token of the present, he's willing to trade you the ring and a necklace of fireballs with 3 gems on it.
Awesome. I'll take the necklace of fireball and the ring.
Okay. And I'm going to write down who has those now. All right. And I think we need to call it there because Trish is on the phone with someone and it sounds important.
Uh-oh. Okay.
All right. But yeah, so let's I will endeavor not to have stuff on next Sunday. But yeah,
Life
thanks for
happens,
coming.
man. Life happens.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yep. All right. Thanks for playing, guys. It was awesome.
That was fun.
Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries.
That's
Back to
okay.
Valheim. Back to Valheim. I'm just kidding.
I need to
So
feed some kids some supper.
I
Yes, I
altered
gotta do the
this
same.
to 3 charges, not 6 charges.
Yep.